we're going to make some peanut butter and jelly cookies. So let's get started. We're going to start with a half cup of butter at room temperature. This is unsalted butter. And let's whip that around a little bit. While that's going, we're going to take a cup and a quarter of flour, a pinch of salt, and a half a teaspoon of baking soda. And we're just going to whisk those together. Once they're whisked together, we're going to set them aside. And then we have two kinds of sugar. We have a half a cup of light brown sugar and a quarter cup of regular granulated sugar. Easy for me to say. Then we're going to whip those together for a while until they're light and creamy. When I was a kid, I did not like peanut butter cookies, but I just recently made some peanut butter treats for the dog, which are basically a cookie, and I enjoyed them. I mean, you gotta taste them before you give them to the dog, right? That looks pretty light and fluffy, so now we're going to add, well, let's knock down the sides a little bit. Then we're going to add 3/4 of a cup of smooth peanut butter. This is something else that's not in my house very often. I don't really do smooth peanut butter, though I do a lot of peanut butter sandwiches, peanut butter and jam sandwiches. But I like very crunchy peanut butter. Then we're going to add 1 egg and then a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Then we're going to add our flour. And we'll do the rest of it by hand. Quite a bit of flour up on the side of the bowl, so we'll knock that all down and in. And then when you stir, be sure that you go all the way to the bottom of the bowl, because there's going to be flour just sitting down there doing nothing. And we want it to participate. Looks like I've got it all. Now I need a cookie sheet. And of course we need our old buddy parchment paper. I've got a small cookie scoop here, and we're going to go with that size. Okay, the oven's almost up to temperature. Directions say to make 1-inch round balls, cook them, bake them for 8 minutes. Take them out, make the indent, and put them back in for a minute. I'm going to try that with the first pan. With the second pan, I'm probably going to do this, flatten them out, put the indent, and then try baking them and see what we get. It is tasty cookie dough. $3.50. Went to Costco today, bought some more flour because I've used up 25 pounds of flour, a 25-pound bag of flour in the last couple, 3 months. And of course, while I was there, I had to have a hot dog. That's the real reason for going to Costco, if you ask me. They sell the hot dogs in the refrigerated section, but they don't sell the buns that fit their own hot dogs. So I didn't buy any because I would like to try them on a grill, but I'm not buying giant hot dogs for which I can't find a bun. I'm curious if any of you get a hot dog when you go to Costco. It's a pretty cheap lunch. You can buy a hot dog and a Coke now, was Pepsi, for $1.50. That's a pretty cheap deal. I think we're going to come close to 36 cookies here, which is going to be quite a bit for a type of cookie my wife's not going to eat. They don't appear to be spreading in the oven, so we'll flatten them a little bit here. I just use a flat bottom drinking glass and push them down to about a 1/2 inch thick. And then okay, I use the back of my cookie scoop to make an indent in the cookies. That'll hold, theoretically, the 1/2 teaspoon of jelly or jam that we put in there. Yeah, some soft right at the moment. And then we'll put them in there for another minute or so. I'm actually going to shoot for about 1.5 minutes. And then I'm still going to wax slowly. Time for the old cooling rack. The cookies are firming up a little bit, which is good because they were very, very soft. I think these might be too soft, but we'll see. Pretty flexible right now. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. That makes 34 cookies. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Yep. Well, flattening them made them bigger around, which I'm not sure is a bad thing. Putting the indent in them before they were baked wasn't worth the effort because when I looked at them, they were all totally flat. So this time I'm not going to put the indent in them first. They do taste pretty good, but I might wish that it was a little more cooked. They're a very soft cookie. Now these cookies need a filling. So what we're going to do is put that bowl over a pan of boiling water, and then we have a 4-ounce bar of German sweet chocolate. And we're going to melt this entire thing, though we're not going to need the entire thing in there. Those are going to be firmer. You can see they're a little bit bigger around, but that's quite okay. Now what we're doing over here on the hot plate is we are melting 4 ounces of German sweet chocolate, 4 tablespoons of butter, and we're going to put in 1.5 teaspoons of cornstarch. And I put the cover on it just so that it would trap some of the heat in there and start melting things a little bit quicker. This is going in some of the cookies. That's starting to soften up a little bit down there. Got a little too much water in my pan. This is a 1/2 tablespoon measure, which is 1.5 teaspoons. I think it would have been smarter to cut the butter up into smaller pieces before I started this process, because the chocolate is all melted, but the butter is not. Getting close, but it's not all melted yet. We'll give it another couple of minutes. Still not quite totally melted. That's looking good. Turn my fan back on. It's hot in here. Now, for the first few cookies, we're going to put some strawberry. There we go. Finally. We're going to put some strawberry jam, which doesn't seem like jam to me because when I was growing up, jam was the one with seeds, and this doesn't have any seeds at all in it. Let's do those last 2 before I get those cookies out. Okay, we might as well taste one. Let's see what we got. That's quite good. It does taste like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. That's probably not a good thing because now I'm going to eat too many of them. But oh well, somebody's got to do it.